Child, welcome to my review for the Real Housewives of New York, season 15, episode 15, and this was the season finale. And yes, I know I had stopped reviewing this a while ago, but I did mention that I watched the episode before the season finale, and then I watched the season finale, and then I am going to review the reunion. Side note, thank God, I forgot to mention this earlier on, but thank God this is going to be only a 2-part reunion because they do not need a 3-part reunion. I just had to call that out. But anyway, back to my review. And that preview for the reunion, honey. Oh, I'm so glad the girls are going to be getting Bryn together. And after watching this season finale, I feel like they're still being too nice because the way these women have grace. And even Uba to a certain degree, I know we got annoyed with Uba all season long. You know, it makes me wonder, and I said it before in my overall review, what has Bryn been doing behind the scenes to aggravate this girl actually? Because I think what we saw on TV, I think that was a very small percent of what she was really doing to her. And after seeing this season finale, I don't think she knows what low is. She doesn't know what low is. To the point where at the end, old girl's still trying to play the victim. And I never thought I would watch a show where I just got done watching Beverly Hills before this. And so I was annoyed with Kyle and her victimhood. And then Bryn was like, hold my beer, I got you. It's like, what? I'm like, you're not even established well enough to be this way. But anyway, I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Without further ado, let me go ahead and get into this review because the way I am so mad. And Jessel, you're a real one. You are a real one. And that's why that thumbnail is what it is, because she is a real one. I'm watching a little bit of watch what happens live, and Jenna, you pissing me off. Well, like, let's just keep it real. But I know, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and get to that review. So we pick up where we left off. And really where we left off is everybody's fighting. No one knows how to have a good time on this trip. And the other thing is, you know, I love the way Aaron be narrating and saying like, yeah, I want us to get back to the fun. I was like, I still haven't seen fun yet. Where is the fun? I don't know when y'all have fun. I was so confused when she keeps saying that. I was like, I haven't this whole season, really whole 2 seasons of y'all being on trips. I ain't Nancy. Y'all have fun, not yet. And you know, a lot of it has to do with Bryn. But anyway, so they're still fighting. But right now, Uba and Aaron are fighting because Aaron is trying to basically back up Bryn. Because Uba keeps calling her, you know, a slut and all that good stuff. And, you know, Uba's standing on business. And honestly, yes, it's annoying that she's doing that. But now that I saw what I saw, I'm not even mad at it. I'll be honest with you. I ain't gonna hold you. Uba's been vindicated for me. At least when it comes to her behavior with Bryn. Not all of her behavior. Her behavior towards Bryn, vindicated. Anyway, so then from there we have Sai, Jessel, and Aaron, because Aaron's also mad at Jessel and Sai is also mad at Aaron because of the conversation that they had earlier on about Jessel and her husband. And so Sai, I love you, girl, but you're gonna need to take a little bit of accountability when it comes to like why Pavitt said the things he said about you. And yes, I will say this, Pavitt went way below the belt saying what he said about her, but I also don't think Pavitt knew that was an issue at the time when he said it, because he didn't really know her like that. But yeah, I think Pavitt really should apologize to her, but at the same time, Sai, did you ever apologize to Pavitt what you said about him and basically suggesting that he's cheating on his wife when he goes on trips to basically his foodie trips? Did you ever apologize for that? And if the answer is no, then like he has no, he in his mind, he's not going to apologize to you. So, but really it's squashed because Sai basically just was trying to get out there like, look, Jessel, I don't have a problem with you, but I still don't see it for your husband. If you're okay with that, then I'm okay with that. But I'm okay with you, and I want us to continue moving forward with our friendship. And that's pretty much all it was. And Erin kind of got scot free in that because Erin, she do be talking way more ish than what she be, regurgitating back to the ladies whenever she's in it. But because the bigger picture and the bigger issue really was, I think it really did bother Sai what Pavitt said because it is a triggering point. And I get why, because hello, I feel away whenever I get in an argument with someone and anyone says anything about my mental health or weaponized mental health towards me because of all that history that people know about me. And I had an ex that did that. And I'm sorry, I'm talking really fast, but I talk fast when I'm really irritated. And I'm telling you, the season finale was good, but man, I was irritated I'm still really, really irritated. Anyway, let me slow it down. So yeah, I get why Sai's upset because I actually had an ex who used to do that to me too. Whenever we would get in arguments, he would weaponize the fact that I have that in my family and call me crazy. And he knew that was a trigger point. And it's still beyond me how we lasted as long as we did because never okay. But anyway, neither here nor there. So Sai does admit that really bothered her, and she actually kind of breaks down a little bit and cries. And honestly, I'm loving this for Sai because last season Sai was very insufferable and she just was always like a hard one, like kind of just showing that she's like this hard ass. And this season we're seeing her vulnerability and also too, I think it has a lot to do with her being in therapy. Now, Sai, I do want you to be the way you were kind of before. You don't have to be insufferable per se, but I want you to at least, I don't want you to be so boring next season, if there is a next season. I think there should be a next season, honestly, after seeing what I saw. I just think you need to just get rid of, a couple of people that I mentioned. So anyway, that's it that happens here. And then next we have, let's go on to the next thing. All right, so then after all this happened, the rest of the ladies go to talk, minus Bryn and Uba. And really, the ladies are just at this point like, okay, so that a lot of conflict has gotten resolved here. Let's finally try to resolve this Uba and Bryn situation. And basically, the ladies are so on the fence of, they're all on the side of Bryn. And this is where I was like, Raquel, you're starting to piss me off with this. The optics, I don't like it. But pretty much all the ladies are basically saying, I'm just so sick of Uba. Uba needs to like not say these, horrible things about Bryn. And, when it comes to her and her being a slut and all that stuff. And it's just like, well, she leads. I'm sorry. I'm trying to not be annoyed by it because of the outcome. And I really wish I probably should have done this review as I was watching the show versus the whole review. Because when I tell you what ended up happening on this, child, you're going to understand why I'm acting the way I am when it comes to like the Bryn situation. Because she's an, I think she's an evil woman. She better not come back. I better not see her on my screen again after this reunion. Get her together and then get her off our screen. That's what I'm hoping for. But anyway, I know I'm skipping ahead. But at this point, at this moment, all the ladies are just like, Uba's taking it too far, saying this, saying that. And what is getting me is that they keep saying that Uba said putting a dick in her mouth when really it was Bryn who said it. Now, did Uba say something similar? Yes. So right now, at this point, this going back and forth, they're playing the game of semantics. Because really, at the end of the day, the ladies just really want Uba to apologize to Bryn for just insinuating the things versus actually what she said. And Uba is at the point, because she's heated, she's Uba hot, She is like, she's standing on business. Like, I'm not apologizing for what I did not say. But like, she's saying, if I did not say this exactly, I'm not apologizing for it. That's pretty much where Uba's at on it. And really, the big picture is the reason why I think Uba doesn't want to apologize to Brynn is because, look, y'all are still ignoring the fact that this woman has been aggravating me this whole entire time. Really, since the season finale of last season, this woman has been on Uba's neck. And I don't know why that was, but like, if you watch a whole entire season, she's been doing this really with Uba and then Rebecca. And then even a little bit with Jessel. The difference is Jessel and Rebecca gives her nothing, so she can't really continue with her. Uba entertains it, and so she just keeps doing it. But I don't think Brynn realizes how that really, really looks, considering that she's passing. It looks away, and it's very... And this is one of the few things that I will say watching this episode. I think the reason why I was so mad is because Uba did not really have any representation that had her back. Because at the end of the day, one thing that was not spoken about, and I'm not sure if... I don't think Bravo is willing to have this conversation, to be honest with you. Being a woman of color and being a black woman are not the same. I hate to call a thing, but it is not the same. And just the optics of how this was looking this whole entire time, I was like, so Brynn, you're picking on this chocolate Godiva of a glass of like milk, chocolate milk. It looks away. And I don't know how else to say it. It just looks away. But anyway, so then somehow, some way out of this, because Uba comes up and she's like saying, I'm not going to apologize for something that I did not say. And then Brynn's there, and then they're fighting yet again. And Brynn is getting so defensive, is just yelling at her, saying, this is offensive to me, this, that, and this, and this, and this, and just going off. And I mean, going off on her. And basically just ignoring the fact that this woman has been aggravating and been antagonizing Uba this whole entire trip. And that's me just being gracious about it, saying this whole entire trip when really has been pretty much the whole season. But anyway, so then it gets really, really heated. And so Uba leaves, and Sai and Sai and Aaron go after her, basically saying exactly what I just said. Like, she is doing this to you on purpose because you keep entertaining her. Like, stop doing this. And I think Aaron is saying it as a mediator, where Sai is saying it because Sai, we already know Sai is really, has built a friendship with Uba, and she don't really see it for Brynn anymore after what Brynn did to her last season. Like, they made up, but they didn't really make up. Like, she don't trust her for real. And so they're talking it out, trying to talk it over. And then Rebecca out of nowhere pops up being mom, and she's like, hey, I think you guys all need to eat. We've been drinking a lot. Let's eat and get together, even though Uba don't drink, but okay. And so they do go ahead to try to eat and try to just like take a break from the chaos, because at this point it's just chaos. And Uba's like, you know what? I'm going to try one last time to try to talk to Brynn about this and patch things up. Even though I do not see it for Brynn, I'm going to do it for everyone else. And that's where we were at with this. But while this is happening, we have Brynn still with the other ladies, basically going off and saying like, she doesn't know she knows what I've been through. She's know what I've been through. Still just like being a tornado of emotions. Go over the slut comment and her insinuating that she slept with someone to get a job. And then she drops a bombshell, and this bombshell was so messed up. And I kind of want to know your thoughts on this. And trigger warning. And side note, Bravo, in the future, when you have this kind of a thing, I'm going to need you at the very beginning of the episode, say trigger warning. Because this is the other reason why I was upset about this. Once I say it, we'll get into the details of why I was so mad. Anyway, and why I am still kind of heated. Because I have not calmed down that yet. Bryn says, Uba knows that I have been great. Y'all know what that means. She knows that about me. So for her to insinuate anything sexual towards me, that's messed up. She knows it. She knows it. And she said it to all the ladies. And immediately, and Raquel, girl, I'm so mad at you for this. And also, Jenna, I'm mad at you for this. Y'all fell for that white adjacent woman's tears and did not give Uba the benefit of the doubt that she did not know about this. And that is what happened. And the way I am still very upset by this whole situation, because number one is you're going to use what happened to you, a major tragedy. And by the way, for those who are listening, I've had similar things. I've been essayed before too, quite a few times. Yeah, we're not going to get into my childhood or whatever, but yeah, these things have happened for me too. And I'm not trying to it's not a competition. That's not what it is. But I just would never think to ever weaponize what I had going on in my life and use it against someone else the way she just did that. And honestly, immediately when she said that, because as someone who's dealt with similar situations, who's been around situations where it's happened to other people in my life, I knew she was lying. Not about whether that has happened to her or not. I can't judge that. I'm not even going to say that. But how she insinuated, she basically said that Uba knew about this and now she's using it against her. Basically just destroying Uba's character. And honestly, after this, I don't think Uba's coming back whether we want her back or not, because I wouldn't come back after this. I most certainly would not. And honestly, it would take everything in me not to go black. Because what we thought we were going to see in the season finale is not that. It was something else. Because afterwards, this is happening. And so the other women, mainly Raquel and Jenna, they're all trying to move on. Everyone's trying to move on, have their, eat something. And they can't even look at Uba because they assumed the worst and assumed that Bryn was telling the truth about this. And by the way, and Uba, this whole entire time doesn't even know that this is happening. She doesn't know yet that this was said because she wasn't there. And Aaron wasn't there and Sai wasn't there. So they don't know. I don't think they were in the know of this. I think Aaron did end up being in the room. I think afterwards, now I think about it, but I don't think Sai was in there. I'm not exactly sure, but not all the women were in there. I think almost everyone was in there, maybe. I don't know. I don't really remember. That part's not really so important, but anyway. So then Uba goes to try to apologize to Bryn without knowing that this was all said. And Bryn is still stuck on, if you're not going to apologize to me for the exact thing, for what I said you said, which is not what she said, then there's nothing else to talk about. Even though that's not what she said. Uba, again, Bryn's the one who said it. Uba insinuated, but she didn't actually say it. Again, it's really some semantics. But so nothing gets resolved here. So we're like, okay, everyone's going back to their respective corners. We see that the producers so we're seeing all the fourth wall stuff now at this point. The producers are leaving, the cameras are going down. And after this is why I say Jessel is a real one. So after this happened, Jessel went to Uba's room. And this is after all the cameras are down. And Jessel told Uba exactly what was said and was like, she's insinuating that you knew about this. And Uba's reaction immediately let Jessel and pretty much most of the other girls know, that she did not know. Because that's when we heard just like a very like a guttural yell coming out of Uba, because she was like, there's no way I would ever do that. Like, because that is like one of the cruelest things you can accuse someone of doing. Of weaponizing someone's tragedy like that. That is just so messed up. So it's just very, very wrong. Because also, wait, side note, let me rewind this. When Bryn was spiraling, she said, I can't believe she would do this. I'm a black woman. It's like, girl, I'm sorry, but like, you're not. I'm. You are evil. This was evil, and I'm not laughing because I think this is funny. I'm laughing because honestly, I've never been so upset watching a show in a very long time, because you're going to use a triggering event like that and try to put it against someone else. It's just evil. And what gets me is Uba, of course, she is spiraling now at this point, and she is going to all the girls one by one, and she is wailing and crying. She's like, I did not know. I promise you I did not know. And you see the girls in the confessional. She was like basically so close to Jenna's face, and Jenna immediately was like, she did not know. Like right away, based off of Uba's reactions, all the girls realized that Uba really did not know. Now, Jenna, I'm so sick of you still giving old girl benefit of the doubt, because Jenna is still saying, well, maybe this, that. I don't give a, no. I'm so sick of this maybe thing. I'm still, Jenna, stop babying this grown ass woman. She's an adult. She's almost 40. Stop it. Anyway, so then, but then Jessel's like, yeah, this is so messed up. Jessel like basically never, I think the reason why Jessel went to Uba, because Jessel never really did believe this. Jessel was one of the only women that did not take Bryn's word for it. She's like, I know Uba, there's no way she would do something like that. And that's why I said she's a real one. And I just really wish they would, was too kind to me, for me. Because if that was me, I would look at all of them a certain way, minus Jessel, and be like, the rest of y'all just assume that my character is just that to the gutter that I would do something like that. Anyway, so then Raquel, once she realized that was a lie, Raquel broke down. She's like, oh my God. And she was really like, I will say, at least with Raquel, she was very much disgusted with herself for even doing that, for believing Bryn like that. She didn't give any excuses or nothing. She was like, I'm so disgusted that I believed that. And I just assumed the worst. And so she, of all the women who had that viewpoint, she self-reflected the best for me, in my opinion, my personal. And so that's why Uba charged at Bryn. Uba was about to, and I guess the producers must have got in there and stopped her from handling that. But child, if it would have been me, I know that would make me look horrible, even worse. But I would at least got me a little bit of the rat tat. Like, I'm sorry. I would have had to take her out. Because what she did right there was just so unacceptable. It just, yeah. Anyway, so it got so bad though. The producer stepped back in, and Uba, and they ended up separating Uba and taking Uba to the hotel. Jessel went with her, and then all the other ladies are still there. And then while all the other ladies are still there, we have Brynn coming to all the other ladies. And all the other ladies are looking at her kind of crazy right now because now they know based off of just really Uba's reaction, there's no way in hell she would have known. And so they're just like, so Aaron was like, did you tell her? Do you know if she know? And then she's like, I think I told her, but like, I don't think she clocked it. That was Brynn's like response. So right then and there, that's when Aaron and Sai realize, oh no, she's completely lying. And really, Jenna's the only one that's still giving her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. But the other women are just like, oh no, she is lying. She is lying. And so that's when the truth came out. And unfortunately, it's like, I'm so mad because really, I'm just, it's nasty. It's disgusting. And then fast forward the next day, Brynn has to leave early. Brynn literally acts like nothing happened and is talking to the producers and just like, yeah, hanging out with the producers. And the producers are there to comfort her because she just basically, says some pretty major stuff, very trigger warning stuff, very traumatic stuff to the ladies. But like, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to victim shame, but the way she did that, I feel like she is being very nefarious. I don't see it as genuine. And whether she is doing this because she needs help, because I feel like a lot of the women are leading with she needs professional help. She needs help to deal with her trauma, this, that, and this, and that. And one of the other ladies, Raquel of all people, which thank God she came to the other side, realized, oh no, she's a narcissist. She's a complete narcissist based off of how she was acting. And same thing with Sai. Sai was like, oh no. She has no remorse for what she did. And even when you actually fast forward, when we look at the previews for the reunion, because they go a little bit more in depth of the previews of during the reunion after this episode, it's clear that she has no remorse for what she did at all. She's not sorry. And if you've been watching the season and you saw other episodes where her and Aaron were talking to each other, and Aaron was opening up to her about like her parents having, well, really her mom having cancer and stuff like that. I said it then. Look at the way she was acting. She did not have any remorseful look at all in her body. There's something, I think this whole season we've alluded that there's something very dark about Brynn, but like, I didn't know she would get this dark. This is evil. This is so evil. And it's very weird of who she targeted and why. Because to me, there's really no good reason why she would target Uba. And the way it's looking, it doesn't look how she think it looks. Like, and maybe it looks very messed up. I'm just going to say it. It's giving colorism. It is giving colorism big time. Anyway. And side note, I really was not trying to put that on Brynn's jacket, but like, I just have to call it like I see it. And considering the fact that where she's from, Indiana, as someone else is from Indiana, child, the self-hate sometimes be real. But anyway, so the trip, basically we found out that they are cutting the trip short, and they cut the trip short because of Brynn. Not really because of Brynn and Uba. It was really because of Brynn. And the rest of the ladies are talking about her, and then that's when they come up with, oh no, that's when you're hearing all the people's different opinions on it. And they're also waiting for Uba and Jessel to come back from the hotel. And then they all, once she does come back, they're all comforting Uba. Uba is just breaking down crying. And I was just so upset that this evil woman, I don't care if they keep saying like she didn't mean it. No, she meant it. I'm sorry, but she meant that. She broke Uba. And that is what got me the most. She broke her. And I'm so mad. And I hate to say this, I can't wait for Uba to tear her up at this reunion. And I can't wait for Jessel to do the same thing. And I can't wait for even Jenna Lyons, because in the reunion preview, we see Jenna Lyons is fed up with her even too. Because basically, I think they didn't know how bad it got until they watched the show back, probably. I can imagine that's what ended up happening. But anyway, so then the rest of the episode, towards the end of the episode, they're back home and it fast forwards to the photo shoot. And basically, none of the girls have talked to Bren except for Aaron and Jenna. All the other girls are just like, yeah, no, we haven't talked to her. There's no reason. No, I think Jessel talked to her just to be kind of like, diplomatic, but Jessel doesn't see it for her for real. And I think what Jessel was trying to figure out is, does she have remorse for what happened? And Jessel's like, no, she doesn't even see what she did was wrong. And we find out, no, she definitely doesn't see what she did was wrong. If anything, she's trying to play the victim, as if the women did not have her back at the very end. And that's pretty much where it ends. We get like all of the like little blurbs of like what's going on with all the ladies. Y'all know I didn't watch the season enough to really be invested enough to say all that. We'll find out the reunion. But I just had to review this because I was so triggered. I was triggered in so many different ways. I do not want to see this woman back on my screen ever again. And if she's back on this season, next season, I will not be watching. I'm just going to keep it real. I will not be reviewing or watching next season if Brynn is still on the show. I know that they said that there was tweets saying that she's off the show. I think it's been debunked that it's fake, that those tweets were fake. Those were not really from her. Either way, Bravo, if you listen to this, I'm not watching or reviewing the show if she's on the show next season. Anyway, but that does conclude this review. Sorry, I was very animated, but like, again, y'all already know why. But please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and I will see you next time. Bye.